It's a quiet Saturday. Mack, feeling mixed feelings about his first week at school, has gotten a free day from his responsibilities, both with homework and with his brothers. He decided to go to the local ice skate rink, but stopping off halfway to get some lunch. Just as the food is delivered to him, he noticing the vibration of his phone in his pocket. He lets out a almost inaudible sigh as he looks at it.
Any trouble by the harbor? We need you immediately. Get your costume and get here right now.
Mack looks down at his meal and back to the phone and lets out a almost dramatic sigh, only to stop himself halfway through when he thinks about that he's out with people, to then put down enough money to cover for the meal and sprint out of the restaurant. Mack, in full speed, sliding across the ground with a backpack on his back, speeds towards the harbor. He almost doesn't feel the new vibration in his pocket. He, without slowing down, picks it out of the pocket and looks at it.
You see, you have gotten a new message. Mack, you were too slow. We managed to handle it. Go back to whatever you were doing.
Mack comes to a screeching halt, staring in disbelief on the new message on the phone. He stares at it for a good couple of seconds, to then let out, through clenched teeth, a muffled cry of frustration.
Your cry is somewhat muffled by the cityscape sounds, and as you stand there alone, tired and frustrated, you do see someone start moving towards you from the center. One of your classmates, Alex, seemed to have noticed you, and he's coming towards you in a half-hurried speed.
Mack, almost instantly, as soon as he sees Alex, unclenches his body, puts the phone back in his pocket, and tries to put on his most nonchalant face.
As Alex closest to you, you see him kind of worried. Hey Mack, I heard you sighing that really loud. Is something a problem?
Mack, with a slight hesitation in his voice, goes, no, it was nothing. I just was training with my powers, and I accidentally scraped my shoes when I was doing my powers on the ground, so I scraped away pretty much the whole sole on the shoe. So I have to buy a new pair. Yeah, that's totally it.
Oh, no, well, you don't have to worry. Come with me. And he takes you by the shoulder and starts leading you to the table and bench right beside you. And as he sits down, he gives a look around and sees that nobody else is present. And he kind of puts his hand forth. Okay, give me the shoes.
Well, no, what?
I'm going to re-sole them. It will just take a minute. Give them and I can fix them right away.
Oh, okay. Mack hesitantly takes off his shoes and hand them to him. I hope isn't just an excuse to get me undressed.
You see him freeze up for a bit before switching to a smile. No, it's nothing like that. It's just that you need to take care of your equipment if you're going to be a hero. You see right beside him, several pieces of tool and new soles are created out of nowhere. And he starts rapidly and methodically take away the old souls and putting on the new ones.
Mack sits awkwardly and looks at the removed piece of souls that are slightly worn down, but not to the extent he just told Alex that they were.
Alex don't seem to have noticed anything suspicious about it. He just works away. But as he works, he starts speaking up. You know, with your kinds of power, you should really invest in some better shoes than this. I mean, he takes up one of the souls. This seems to be quite low quality. I'm not surprised that it hasn't worn out like this until now. I know some places, but I can definitely make some better than any of those. You just wait, and you should feel that these would work marvels. So much better than anything you've done before. Yeah.
Well, you are holding my civilian shoes, so...
He gives you a look and a smile. I thought as a hero we were supposed to be ready at any minute. I mean... And he kind of shows his jacket. And you see that while it is a leather jacket, it seems to be a bit more thicker than a regular one. I mean, you have to be ready, especially people like us that really try to take this as seriously as we can. I mean, you're part of one of the big heroes. I mean, oh yeah, how is it really? I've only done apprenticeship and stuff like that, but you've been doing the real deal. Do you have any stories about that?
Well, what's really to tell? You arrive to a location where some bad guys are doing some bad stuff. You punch them, or in some cases, where I mostly are, you are part of the cleanup crew.
You make it sound so mundane, Mac. I mean, this kind of line of work, it's... Isn't it amazing? We are basically helping people every day in ways that no one really could. I mean, if I didn't have any superpowers, I probably would have wanted to be a police officer or the like, but this is like that, but on a whole nother level. Like, you really feel that you make a difference, that you are helping people. Isn't that what you feel?
Mac looks at Alex, almost analyzing if he really means what he's saying. He lets out with a weak voice, almost like he's unsure if he should be saying it. But is it? We stop villains from doing stuff, but are we really stopping it?
Alex gives a small smile, and then he looks up to you. I can really hear from you that you're a veteran. You is talking the same way as some of the old timers I've been working with on the sideline. Well, you see, maybe I'm just an idealist. Maybe I'm just, you know, maybe I'm just a new kid in this. I mean, I've not really done it for real. But still, superheroes are important to this society, he says as he kind of studies the shoes as he's fixing them. They have multiple times saved not only us, but maybe even the universe and other planets and other realms and all that kind of stuff. It's just become so mundane. You hear it so often. You hear it that it's happening in the limelight and all of that, and suddenly you kind of get jaded, I guess. I don't want to be that jaded. What's happening? Even if all of the criminals that you stop come back sooner or later, if no one were to stop them, they would just win, and people kind of forget that. they kind of forget that the heroes actually hold a purpose, that they do something for us every single time, and many heroes kind of get disillusioned about that work, I guess, when it keeps on forever. But isn't it like eating? You still need it every day, and it kind of seems mundane, but the real fabric of how eating works and what that we need to eat and all of that, it's kind of marvelous when you go into it, and it still needs to be done every single day, because if it stops, things go really bad. He looks up to you and says, I'm sorry, I'm really bad at metaphors. I'm still trying to learn.
I'm not doubting the necessity, Alex. But you said that heroes save people all the time. But do you know what else happens all the time?
He gets a very serious expression as he looks you in the eye. Tell me.
A student is brought up in a broken household. A teacher sees it and does him or her best to help that student to get out of that situation. A fire breaks out in a building, and when the heroes are too busy to save it by dealing with the big stuff, the fire brigade douses the flames but also risks their own life to save the people inside the building. Mack looks over to the statue in the middle of the square. But we still only have one statue for one kind of hero.
You see Alex putting down both shoes in front of you. They seem perfect, like they are newly bought, not a single scratch upon them. And he kind of leans a bit closer to you and stares you deeply in the eye. Mack, I know what you're saying. But you do need to remember something. All those people you described, they are heroes too. And while superheroes get more recognition, you still have to remember, you're also part of those heroes. Even if you think that superheroes have lost the glamour and are just chasing another headline or something, there's still many that do good work, and many of those that are chasing headlines and just chasing paychecks, they're still doing something valuable. Do you really think that every single firefighter are there because they want to do the uttermost for society? Some of them are just there for their paychecks. And there are heroes like that too. And they fulfill a good purpose, a purpose that needs to be done. But, and he pushes the shoes closer to you. You shouldn't let cynicism eat you up. Being jaded makes you kind of forget why this is needed and what you're doing. Mack, listen to me. You are a fantastic person, and what you're doing really matters. And even if you're uncertain what all this means and why you're doing it and why you're doing it for, just remember, it is people like you that make sure that people are safe. The firemen are heroes. The teacher you described is a hero. And you, Mack, you're also a hero. And you deserve that recognition, and you deserve the praise. And with that, he looks at the watch he has on his arm. Oh, I'm sorry, I kind of need to get going. I have a charity drive to go and assist. Just Yeah, try on the shoes. They should fit perfectly. Have a good day. And you see him start going away in full haste.
Mack looks at the shoes in his hands. He puts them on, gets up, does a little jump up and down to test them out. Looks at the statue again. Then turn back to Alex, sprinting after him, yelling, "Hey, wait up! You said we're going to a charity thing?"
It's Saturday night, and May finds herself unable to relax. After recent events, she decided to remain in the school dorms even during the weekends, feeling that she and her mother might need a little distance from each other, and that would be good for both of them. But the way things are with her mother at this time has left her unable to relax. Even after midnight, she realizes that she has completely lost track of the TV show she's currently watching and decides that maybe it's time for some fresh air. So she shuts her laptop down and gets up from her couch. She pauses for a second to consider where one would go at this time of night, then decides that the school grounds are pretty. She might as well just take a look around. She hasn't really spent a lot of time outside since she got here. So she leaves her dorm room and walks out into the night.
The chilly air hits your skin as you leave the building, and you start making your way around the school to the central yard. The moon is up high, giving illumination to the entire area. There's a deep quiet, like there's no soul living here right now. The only thing that you can really hear is the faintest sound of some birds singing and crickets chittering. As you walk along the cobblestone path, you hear your feet scraping along it, almost deafening everything else. The school has another feeling to it in the middle of the night. When it stays so lively, people running around, everything like that, it seems like such a chaotic place. But now, there is a calm. Almost a serenity you did not expect a place like this to be able to hold. And as you close by to the fountain in the middle of the school, you do see something strange. You think you see another person, not far away. You can't make out the details in the light right now, but you step closer. And soon enough, as you close by to them, you see they start twitching, almost like a prey or a predator hearing something in the area. After closing by, you really see them. It's the girl from the hero course. She is sitting by one of the fields of flowers, with the undeniable presence of Mary hanging over her shoulder, looking at whatever Elspeth is doing. As you close by, you see the girl standing up in a quick succession and start speaking in a very aggressive voice. You. Why are you here?
Oh, hi. Hi. Sorry, I was just out for some fresh air. Hi.
Okay, just leave me alone. And she starts going on her knees again and starts shuffling around in the flower bench right before her.
May carefully steps closer and pauses to kind of sneak a peek of what she's doing.
She looks back at you with a scowl upon her face, or maybe not, you can't really tell with her. Maybe she has one of those faces that always shows a sign of distrust or anger, but still you feel it's piercing you as she looks back. I told you not to disturb me. Why are you really here?
I'm sorry. Seriously, I was just out for a walk. But I got curious. What are you planting?
No, I'm just maintaining. Danny does the planting. He has a better touch for that. And now when you're closer, you see over her shoulder that she's arranging and cutting off unwanted pieces upon the flower to ensure better growth, enriching the soil with something she has brought along with her, and poking in the ground with a shovel, then again, to better allow for a denser amount of growth.
Oh, so you got like a green thumb? It's cool. It's really cool. I mean, I can't even keep like a houseplant alive. Like, this is really it looks really pretty.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't mean to bother you. It looks nice.
And she sticks her spade into the ground and rises up, taking a step closer towards you. You're May, right?
Yeah. And you're Elspeth.
Yeah. You get the feeling again, a remembrance to the time in the arena when you two were fighting. She looking upon you like you were a small prey. And it starts to resonate inside you again. This look of a dangerous predator standing before you.
May just kind of stands and gawks at her, thinking how massively tall she is.
I am sorry.
You what?
You see how she shifts, like what she's saying is so uncomfortable that it almost hurts her. I overdid it the other day in the fight, and I'm sorry if I scared you or hurt you in any way.
It's fine. Thank you. You. I mean, you're really great, and like, you're really strong, and I'm sorry too if I hurt you.
No, you didn't hurt me. It's things like that, heat, lasers and stuff. I can handle that easily. You couldn't really hurt me with any of that stuff, even if you actually tried. But I didn't. It took. I know now what you and that baseball guy were doing during the fight. He was trying to enrage me to get an opportunity for you to attack. Was that right?
I mean, yeah. I'm sorry.
And that might mean that he's a bigger dick than I first thought. A smart one, but still.
Are you are you okay?
You suddenly see her almost staggering back in a bit of shock before hardening her face again. Yeah, I'm just tired of people calling me a beast and an uncontrollable monster, and people like that baseball guy trying to play up upon that to gain an advantage. I'm okay, I'm just annoyed.
Yeah, that's that was pretty shitty actually. So I'm sorry about that.
Thank you for your apology. And she gets almost a somber face upon her, looking away. before returning her gaze upon you again. Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna go back to maintaining the flowers. You can watch if you want. I already have one spectator most of the time, so.
May steps after her. Hey, if any flowers or so need some sunlight, just let me know. I could. And she makes her hands glow as if to demonstrate.
No, it isn't needed. It's summer and sunlight is plenty, and flowers needs rest too.
Oh, okay, great. Nice talking to you. Thanks.
And as you take a few steps away, leaving her to her business, she speaks up again. Hey, May?
May stops and turns around stiffly.
Yeah?
If you have nothing to do and want to help, you can take the bag and stritzel some of that stuff on the flowers on the other side.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
And she quickly walks back and grabs the bag.
Thank you.
No worries.
And her cheeks burn as she starts spreading the contents of the bag over the ground.
And as you do, you see Mary changing her gaze away from Elspeth and looking at you with the same determination as she looked before upon the draconic girl. And you start feeling a strange sense of contentment, not a personal one, but more one from the spirit in question, projecting itself upon you. It seemed to be quite pleased with what you're doing, before it returns its attention again to Elspeth. After spending an entire week trying to adjust to a new school life, Homerun had somewhat looked forward to the weekend to be able to spend it with his old friends, playing a bit of baseball, training with them, and enjoying a somewhat relaxing evening. And as Sunday rolls around, Homerun tosses in the bed as the morning rays kind of light up through the window, waking him up.
Homerun wakes up this bright and early morning, feeling very stiff and very tired after all of the exertions he has done this week. All of the schoolwork, all of the adventuring, and all of the practice that he has tried to get in. He looks over to his phone and sees that it has died, that he forgot to put it on charging before he went to bed. Bummer. Homerun puts his phone on charging and gets up out of bed, doing some light stretching and feeling the energy of the day try to come through him. Noticing that everything is quiet, he walks out into the halls of his home. Mom? Dad?
Homerun extends his senses, trying to see if he can at least perceive any kind of sign that someone is at home, but nothing picks up. But they do notice something lying on the table right in front of the sofa. A little note. And upon inspecting the note, it says in simple letters, "Me and your dad is just going a quick bit to the doctor, just for a regular checkup. We will be home after lunch.
Oh, alright. Homerun looks over his home, feeling a sense of calm and comfort in the quietness and that he is by himself. A feeling he has not felt for some time, being with all of his friends at school and with his teammates during the game. He notices a bowl of fresh fruit on the table. Looking over it, he spots an apple, and with a mischievous interest, he picks it up. He has been practicing a form of new technique, trying to get an object in his hand to, with the momentum of his swing, propel itself and stay afloat on a spot for at least a while, not moving, just being stationary in the air. He palms the apple and hunkers backwards, trying to get a lot of spin in his momentum. He then lunges and throws it, trying to get as much spin on it as possible to see if he can get it to stay in one spot in the air.
As the apple leaves Homerun's hand, it starts spinning, the force of the rotation keeping it afloat. Homerun smiles as he sees his technique actually working. But he is suddenly disrupted as he hears the rapid fire of pings from his room. It seems like his phone has been charged and a cascade of messages are starting to pour in. And as his concentration slipped, the apple's spin is starting to lose momentum and is falling rapidly towards the floor.
Oh damn, I'm popular, Homerun says and walks over to his phone. He picks up his phone and starts looking through his notations.
As you look upon your phone, you see all of the messages seems to be from the same person. Shirley, one of the mothers of the kid you're coaching. And she seems quite furious, demanding to know where you are right now and saying that she can't wait for much longer. And it's not professional of you to just leave them in the field with you not being seen anywhere. And several more of the messages are just saying, "Where are you? Come here right now. I don't have time for this. I need to drop off my son. Where are you?"
It dawns on Homerun at that moment that he has completely forgotten about his obligations today. That he had to coach the Little League, and that he now has the wrath of every Karen upon him. Oh shit. Homerun quickly grabs his stuff, trying to get all the things he needs for coaching. His clocks, his whistles, his bats and his balls, everything, and rushes out the door. Oh my god, I'm gonna get killed. Oh fuck.
With quick haste, you run out the door, slamming it behind you and locking as quickly as you can. You run over to your bike and jump on it in quick succession and start paddling away towards the baseball field. As you arrive by the baseball field, you basically throw yourself off the bike and start running towards the pitcher's field. There you see her, Shirley, the most Karen of all the moms, with her brat Henry by her side, looking like you just murdered her entire family.
Homerun takes in a view of the field, trying to count how many kids are there. Everyone seems to be there. Good. And unfortunately, the end bosses of all the Karens is already in his field. He knows he has to put on a big ass smile and trying to be as humble as possible, or else he will be absolutely destroyed before the game even starts. He runs up to Shirley, having lost his breath along the way and not trying to pick it up. Oh, hi Shirley, hi Henry. Sorry I'm late.
Don't sorry me! You were supposed to be here half an hour ago! Where have you been? I don't believe this. How could... You young man, you're in so much trouble. I was here trying to leave my dear Henry here right on time and you were nowhere to be seen. And what was I supposed to do? Leave him here while with no supervision? No! And now I'm late to my appointment at the dentist. Do you know what this would cost me? I would have you know. Someone like you should show much more professionality than what you're doing right now. People like you. My husband makes more in a week than you would do in a lifetime. I can have you thrown out from everything involved with baseball if you do anything like this again. What do you have to say for yourself?
Homerun tries to figure out a good thing to say, a bad thing to say, anything to say really. The thought come across that he might just have to tell the truth, that he has been saving his friends from great peril and being with his friends and trying to make things right in this wicked world. But for some reason, he thinks that Shirley just won't buy that, and rightfully so. He simply looks down on the ground, trying to make himself look as pitiful as possible. And with his breath lost, and what he tries to make as tears coming down from his side, he simply tries to be as apologetic as possible. I'm sorry. I really don't have any excuses. I mean, it's been a tough week, but like I know that's no excuse and all, but I'm just trying my best here, and I mean it's new season and all that. I mean, I'm just trying to make it pass, but I'm terribly sorry. I hope you will get to your hairdresser in time. I'm sorry.
I said the dentist. Are you even listening to me? Teenager these years. You should feel privileged to have someone as talented as my son being coached by you. No matter, I have a meeting to go to. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter to both your parents, your coach, and whatever manager for this team I can find. But, yeah, I have to go now. Henry, be a good boy now. And remember, do well, and you don't have to grow up like... And she looks at you with a big stink eye. So you don't have to grow up to be someone like him that has to coach on his day off to make money. Either way, I have to go now. Goodbye, coach. And she rapidly makes her way away from you towards her car.
Homerun for a second thinks about commenting on what Cheryl said, to clarify the fact that he does not in fact get paid for doing this, and he does this just because he wants to. But somehow he feels that might just make things worse.
Henry takes a few steps towards you. My mom says you're a loser.
Yeah, I guess I am. The biggest loser of them all. And I'm your teacher. So I guess your guys going to be even bigger losers than me when you grow up.
No, that's not fair. I'm not going to be a loser.
Well, if you don't want to be a loser, you have to at least be able to run in time. Not like me, coming here late. So how about we start off with some laps? You can do about 10 of them. Right now.
You're the worst. But even with that comment, he actually starts running towards the position to start some laps.
Alright kids, because I've been running late today and I'm out of breath, I'm gonna have to see you all get out of breath as well. Come on now guys, we're doing this together.
You hear a resounding groan from almost all the kids, except one of them that seems to be really into the fitness thing and just seem to think this is heaven for you. And in short succession, the training starts and you spend the rest of your morning trying to teach this kid a little bit about baseball.
As the Sunday comes, feeling quite homesick, Melora makes up her mind to go to the aquarium, the only place that kind of feels like home. She notices all the people, as it is a busy day as usual. She goes into the aquarium and sits down at her usual spot, as she is here quite frequently. She looks around at the people, and just tries and take a deep breath to collect herself.
You see the people mostly looking at the fish and the like. Some take a few glances at you, but you are a recurring customer here as well as they. So they have started to get used by your appearance here at the aquarium. You take in the smell. A combined smell of both briny and fresh water. It kind of reminds you of home. While just taking in the sights, someone is actually approaching you. A young woman, maybe in her early 20s, takes a seat right beside you and just look at the fishes.
Melora glances over at her and gives her a smile.
She gives you a glance back and gives you a smile. And in short order she begins speaking to you. You're also feeling somewhat homesick?
Oh, yeah. How did you know?
I'm guessing it's because of the same reason why I'm visiting here at times.
Oh, you also come from another place?
She gives you a look and a small smile, and shortly thereafter you see something shifting about her. Well, yes, but I believe I come from the same place as you, and you see her shifting from a more human-colored form to what is unmistakably Atlantean.
Oh, hey, you're also Atlantean.
Yeah, my name is Au.Ra.
Nice to meet you, Au.Ra. My name is Melora.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mel. I must ask, you're one of the pilgrims on the surface, right?
Well, I guess you could say so.
You were sent up to gather information of what's happening out here without involving the home too much. Am I correct?
Oh, well, not really. I mean, I kind of came up here because, the ritual and everything. So I came up to have my time here and I just made up my mind to stay for a bit.
Then it's the same reason. You know they send us up here so they can have a little eye of what's happening without directly involving themselves in the surface affairs.
Not really. I just thought it was more because a lot of people are curious and they just want to see for themselves. So if people just go, to the shores, they won't be as curious anymore.
That's one part of it, but to remain somewhat hidden, they have to use some kind of method to know what's happening up here, and that's why you're here as well. I think. Maybe you don't know the full story, but still. It's nice to see another of my kind here.
Yeah, same. It does feel a bit strange talking to you like this, though. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, I'm sorry, I just got so used to talking to humans that I started using my mouth instead of my mind. Just give me a few seconds.
Oh, no, it's okay. I don't mind. It's just, I haven't really talked to a lot of Atlanteans lately. That's probably why it feels a bit strange.
Yeah, I can get that. And she straightens herself up a little while looking at the fishes again. I do miss Atlantis, but at the same time, I don't really want to go back yet.
Yeah, I kind of understand what you mean. I really miss my mom and papa, and my brother too. But I kind of like it up here. I made some new friends, and everyone's really nice to me, even though I'm, well, not like them.
Yeah. It's the same for me. But you're still new up here, aren't you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I've just been here, like a month, I think.
I'm on year 6 right now.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yeah, I got a call to return to Atlantis, but the surface, it's something else. I mean, there's not as much. It doesn't have the same, everyday luxuries as home. Technology here is quite limited.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, But have you heard about this? Some upon the surface can use magic. I mean, a kind of force that's not explained by nature. That's quite amazing.
Oh, yeah, I actually met a few of them.
You never see those kinds of people at home.
No, not really. It's just the usual things, you know?
Yeah. I'm somewhat surprised, actually. I thought you would have more questions regarding my human appearance.
No, I kind of just took for granted you have your reasons. Not anything else.
Yeah, While it's nice to talk to you like this, there's maybe something you should know.
Okay?
The people home at Atlantis, they don't really like if you stay here too long.
Oh yeah, I do know of that.
Yes, and unfortunately they wanted me to come home. I'm not ready yet, but they called me for that, and I believe they might call you even when you're not ready.
Melora turns kind of sullen. She has had these thoughts before, and Au.Ra pointing it out kind of takes a hit to her.
You seem like a good kid, Mel.
Well, thanks. You seem like a nice person too.
Thank you. It's been so long since I talked to a new Atlantean here on the surface, but I just wanted to know something. If the people at home starts calling you back and you're not ready, I might be able to help you, teach you a trick or two to ensure that they do not find you until it's the right time. I heard that might have sounded strange, but I'm talking about, you know that human form I just used?
Yeah?
Well, it's a simple trick I can teach you too. It's a telepathical trick. You send a projection of yourself into other people's minds. Make them see something that does not really exist.
So it's kind of like a telepathic kind of power, I guess?
Exactly. It's kind of hard to hide as a puddle of water or ice when you're trying to be a person.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know what, Au.Ra? It's really nice speaking to another Atlantean like this. I kind of missed it.
Yeah. I kind of missed it too at times. You know, I'm here every Sunday, reminiscing. If you ever feel you need to talk to another Atlantean, but you might get judged if you talk with people back home, I'm always here.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. But I do have a request, and it's not an easy one, I can understand that.
Okay, I mean, what kind of request is it?
I'm not ready to go home, and the people back home, they do not really know where I am. If you have contact with the people back home, can you refrain to talking about me? I'm not ready yet.
No, of course not. I understand what you mean. I won't say a word, I promise. Atlantic and swear.
She gives you a bright smile. Thank you.
No problem. You know, this aquarium really does remind a lot of Atlantic.
Yeah, I almost suspect that someone is a fan of the classics or something. I mean, I've seen strange old statues and faux pillars strewn about in these places. They're probably more for the visitors to get a feeling of an underwater civilization kind of feel.
I got that idea too. That's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I don't think I asked you. What part of Atlantis are you from?
Oh, yeah, I'm from Evermon, you know, the tech
Oh.
district.
Yeah. I know that place. I've been there once before when I was younger.
Oh, you're one of the techies, are you?
Oh, no. No, I'm agriculture, you know.
Oh, yeah, they're the backbone of the entire city.
Yeah, my parents actually has like a seaweed farm, so seaweed for life.
You know, you don't have to feel the need to fill the silence if you feel it's awkward. We can just sit here and reminisce about home if you wish.
Oh, yeah, I don't mind. It's actually a bit of a habit I have since I was younger. You know, back in Atlas, my brother always says when I kind of I can't really handle silence that well, so I kind of have a habit of running my mouth. You know.
Well, that's not a problem as long as you do not bring up some things. I can trust you with not devolving where I am to the Atlantis, right?
Oh yeah, no. It's no worries. It's not like that. I'm sorry. No, it's just like random things. You know.
Yeah, I know. It's easy to talk much when you're used to share everything about yourself through your mind to others in everyday life.
Yeah, it's hard sometimes.
Yeah, I also remember the first year. It took some time to get used to a more subtle way of speaking and acting.
Yeah, you can say that, and I mean, like sometimes, how do you know what's okay and not okay to say? Because I mean, sometimes people want you to ask like very personal questions, and sometimes they feel super uncomfortable when you ask them personal questions.
Yeah, it's a hard balancing act. I mean, most people here on the surface are trained for it at a really early age and can notice, you know, the physical things like a slight twinge of the lip, a certain smile, how the eyes look and where you're looking at and all that. It's hard when you're used to speaking with your mind instead of your mouth. All those little things we miss, can be frustrating. Now, I know that people have said that we shouldn't use our mind powers to read whatever others are thinking, but I think that just reading the surface thoughts when you're getting lost in what people are saying, it's okay enough.
Oh yeah, I can't do that.
Oh? Do you have a problem with your telekinetic abilities?
Oh no. They work just fine. It's more like it kind of feels like an invasion of privacy, and I just don't feel really comfortable with doing it. You know, unless they've said it's okay. I mean, then it's fine. But a lot of people just don't really take kindly to it, so I kind of don't use my telepathic powers right now.
She gives you a almost stern look for a while, like a sister trying to teach her younger sibling about the world. I know where you're coming from, Melora, but sometimes it's just easier for everyone involved, including yourself, to just read some of the surface thoughts to eliminate all possibility of miscommunication. And I'm not saying that you should dig around in their deepest memory, just try to get a feeling from them from the most surface of thoughts.
But I mean, isn't it just better to say that you don't really understand and kind of have them explain it to you? I mean, isn't it a nicer way of doing things?
Some people can handle that and do respect you for doing so. But not everyone is so kind. Some people are living in a lie, a collective lie that every one of them knows the rules to, but you don't. And if you do not get in that lie as quickly as possible, they will start looking down on you, exclude you, and everything like that. There are the good ones, but not everyone, Melora.
Yeah, well, I kind of understand what you're saying, but it still doesn't feel right. I mean, as an Atlantican, we all know that we just speak the truth. That's what you do, and humans just seem to have a really hard time doing that sometimes, and I think there's a reason behind it. So it just doesn't feel right to kind of break that trust, because, I mean, they're not reading my mind, so why should I read theirs?
But they are, Melora. Not in the same way as you and I do, but since they have been living in so many lies, they naturally can spot them when they happen in a way that you and I don't. I'm just saying that you can use your abilities to even the playing field in a way that you otherwise couldn't, because you have things they don't and they have things you don't. It's just an equalizer, you know?
Melora stays quiet for a moment, thinking everything through that she's heard these last couple of minutes. She does know that Au.Ra has a point in what she's saying, but at the same time it just doesn't feel right.
She looks upon you and gives a little bittersweet smile. Look, I'm not saying that you should, and I'm not saying that you must. I'm just saying that it's an easy way, but if you don't want to take that, I understand, and I won't fault you for it.
Well, it's okay. I know you mean well. It's just it kind of gave me some things to think about, I guess. it's no worries.
Yeah, you're so easy to get worried. Many Atlanteans that come up here, they start trusting everyone and feel that they should give other the privacy and give them an arm's length, not using their abilities upon them. But then you expect them to always speak the truth, but that's not how it works here. People lie. Sometimes for good, but most times for bad reasons. And it's very, very easy for you to get hurt. I've been hurt because of that before. More than once. I just don't want you to live through that as well.
Melora grabs her hand a bit and pats it calmingly.
You must have been through quite a bit. You kind of look sad.
And all of a sudden you feel an intense sense of sadness emanating from Au.Ra. She seems to reminisce about something, and the emotions are almost overflowing, almost invading into your mind before she shuts them off. Yeah, a lot happened since I arrived on the surface, and you must excuse me, I do not want to go into the specific.
No, it's fine. I was kind of poking around. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable. It just, you seemed really sad, and it made me a bit sad too. So I just wanted to, say that I'm here for you, I guess.
Thank you, Melora. Yeah, I might be. Yeah. Maybe maybe it's not just me that's helping you here.
What do you mean?
It's a more human thing you might not understand yet, but take your time and see what you can learn from here. It's, as said, many people here are liars, but it's such a wondrous place from back home. It is magical in a way that you don't get from the stories. Reality sometimes are much more interesting than those.
I know, right? And you know, back at Atlas, I didn't really have any friends, and now I have a few of them, and they're really nice people, and they make me feel really appreciated, and I kind of don't feel alone anymore. It's actually a really nice feeling.
She gives you a bright smile. I know that feeling more than you would probably ever believe.
You do? Really?
Yes, I do. I really, really do.
Wow, I didn't think I'd meet an Atlantecan who actually knew how that felt like.
Sometimes, when you are somewhat different, it's easy to be alone. But we shouldn't talk more about that. I mean, if we sit here and try to reminisce about sad memories and loneliness, we might just leave here worse than we came. You know what? Let's leave it on a happy note. Have you seen the penguin exhibition yet?
I love that part. It's okay. I'm friends with one of the penguins. His name is Benny. He's the best little boy you could probably meet. He's really nice. I helped him when he was sick.
Oh, why don't you go and introduce me? Let's get going.
Oh my god, yeah, I would love to.
And she starts moving away from her bench, stretching an arm towards you. Yeah, let's get going.
Mel quickly grabs her by the hand and follows suit.
And the both of you leave the bench and start making your way towards the penguin exhibit.